So probably most of you, if you had psychology ever in high school or college, you learned about classical associations and you learned about Pavlov's dogs. You know, that's the experiment where he was working with the dogs. He rang a bell and fed them, and he rang a bell and fed them, and then he rang the bell and they salivated, so that they established an association that eliminated the need for the feeding in order to connect that. And that's a very powerful model related to sleep. And so we get a lot of associations. We can create a lot of arousing associations about bed. We can start worrying about whether or not we're going to fall asleep. I think that's kind of what you were talking about. We can start worrying that tomorrow is going to be a disaster if we don't sleep. So we can start worrying about being a failure, that we can't make ourselves go to sleep. There's all kinds of things that can happen, but they start getting cued at bedtime. And so then pretty soon, for some people, it becomes an association kind of factor, so that bedtime, the bed, the pillow, the nightlight, the clock, and any number of things can be paired with arousal. Okay? On the other hand, we want to create a sleep-inducing association between your bed. So we want you to be sleeping in bed and not sleeping, if you're not sleeping, to not be in bed. We want to create that positive sleep-inducing association and avoid the sleep-disrupting association with bed and bedtime. Does that make sense? So the more that you feel like you have that negative association between bedtime, and sleep, and this might be particularly you, it seemed like it really fit there for you, you're going to want to also think about doing some what we call stimulus control. Essentially what we're doing here is we're trying to control the stimulus and avoid the negative association. The way that we do that is we say, only go to bed when sleepy. Now we will allow sex in bed, but nothing else. No reading, no watching TV, just limiting to positive, just getting sleep. If you don't fall asleep fairly quickly, get out of bed until you're sleepy. Come back to bed. If you wake up in the middle of the night and don't fall asleep fairly quickly, get out of bed until you're sleepy. So that what we're doing is we're building that association that when I'm in bed, I'm sleepy and I'm falling asleep. When I'm not sleepy, I'm someplace else. Keep your same wake-up time and avoid those naps. So this is so that there's three factors that we're talking about here. Circadian rhythm, same wake-up time. Sleep homeostat, that's that sleep efficiency, narrowing down your sleep, compressing your sleep down. And then associations, if you're getting arousal because of associations. There's other reasons for arousal as well, so it may or may not be. But that's the third factor. So those are those three things. We have good, solid science that supports all of these recommendations.